We are just one step away from the third ever PGR eSports March Madness Final Four. As we reach the Elite Eight tonight of March Madness, it's another edition of the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series from Atlanta. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what some call EchoPark Speedway. Tonight we'll know it as Atlanta Motor Speedway. For another edition of PGR Racing here on a Thursday night. My name is Dawson Wise. So happy to have you with me for another edition of PGR March Madness presented by Sim Wrap Market. As we reach Atlanta in the Craftsman trucks tonight, sure to be as chaotic as possible, knowing the tire set limit, knowing that there is no fast repair, and of course knowing the brackets that are on the line. We'll tell you all the bracket matchups that goes into that after we get through the starting grid and we get ready to go under the green flag. With no further ado, let's get down trackside because we are moving fast and furious here tonight from March Madness at Atlanta. You'll notice some colors on the broadcast tower over there on the left side of your screen. I'll tell you what those mean in just a little bit, but let's get in to the starting grid before we get going in tonight's race. On the pole, into the 90, one of the drivers remaining in the March Madness tournament, Daniel Eberhardt, D3, ran well last night in the ERA Omega Cup Series. Of course, won last week at Daytona, ran well last night in Fontana. He'll go from the pole tonight, looking to make his way into the Final Four for the first time. On his outside, another man who ran well last night in ERA, a man who was unfortunately eliminated last week from this tournament, but alas will be a threat tonight at Atlanta. It is Malik Ray in the one that'll go alongside him in the second spot. Back in the third position on row number 2, it's going to be Joe Huerta for the Jack Shack, the pink, silver, and black Toyota Tundra on the inside of his outside. Another one of the Jack Shack trucks, a guy we've not seen much in PGR since he won a PGR championship back in January, the 48 of Dillon Basin. Row 3, starting P5, the Wigan Water Technologies Toyota Tundra, and last night's winner of the ERA Omega Cup event from Auto Club, Garrett Maines, will go from position number 5 to his outside. It's the Chick-fil-A Ford F-150. That's Nathan Harper in the 33, also under the Jack Shack banner tonight. Also racing for something else in the losers bracket of the March Madness. We'll tell you about that as we go throughout the evening. Row 4, Cody Nagels in the 6, representing Nightmare Esports tonight. He'll go from position number 7, also in that losers bracket. To his outside, Matt Lee in the 0-4. He'll go from position number 8. Back on row 5 to round of the top 10, Matt Patton. The Cinderella run continues as he upset Malik Ray last week. He'll go from position number 9. Michael Guest also racing tonight in the March Madness. He'll go from 10th. Row 6, Jeff Merck in the 60 for NBG. He'll go from 11th. It's Alexander Kroenke, another one of the upset stories in the March Madness tournament. He'll go from 12th on the outside of row 6. Row 7 going to be Trevor Oswornoth. Welcome back to the captain for the Jack Shack as he'll go from the 13th position. And Ethan Eckert to his outside in the 14th spot. He'll be in the familiar 12 colors tonight for him. Row 8, Michael Barksdale in the 00 for Dega Pros will go from 15th. Max Dinda back in the 16th spot, representing Dude Wipes once again this week. Row 9, Landon Velicki also for the Jack Shack. He'll go from 17th. Very good here. One of his PGR wins came here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Miles Bagley to his outside in the 18th spot. Back rounding out the top 20, Brock Westmoreland for Team PGR, where the young upstarts of Money Racing Carson Freeman will go from 20th. On row 11, it's going to be Josh Bonwell alongside Hunter Hastings. Back on row 12, it'll be Mike Davenport for Team PGR. New colors for him tonight, blue. The Denver Broncos aboard that truck, different for him. Howard Strother Jr. will make a start in PGR tonight from 24th. Row 13, Brody Walk to HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, and another one of the March Madness drivers, Dylan Jones, will go from 26th. Row 14, Josh McCullough for the McCullough Motorsports team, and Brian Hennings for Team PGR. He'll go from 28th. Tucker McClendon will go from 29th, and Larry McDonald will go from the 30th spot. Row 16, Wes Campbell will go from the 31st spot, also in the losers bracket, and Dega Pro Sean Corbett from 32nd. Row 17, Kevin Cunningham in the 2, alongside Ricky Stewart in the 27. Row 18, going to be Dustin Cowan in the Home Depot 20 from 35th. Daniel Falkingham, carrying PGR eSports on his truck, will go from 36th. He was also eliminated last week from March Madness as well. Another March Madness driver, a couple of them back on row 19, Aaron Smith and Freddie Bassinez, who will be in the losers bracket tonight. He'll go from 38th. Josh Cruz in the losers bracket goes from 39th, alongside of Nash Brambilla. And last truck on the grid, last couple of trucks on the grid, Quentin Steinbach from 41st and Kenny McCullough Jr. from 42nd. March Madness has been as electric as possible so far, and we're sure to have another one tonight. The winners bracket drivers, the drivers still eligible for that $500 payday as the March Madness champion, will be featured in blue on the left side of your screen. The drivers in the losers bracket featured in red on the left side of your screen. Just a way to keep it organized, keep you aware of where all the drivers are running. We'll keep you updated on the matchups throughout the night as well. It's March Madness. It's the Elite Eight. It's Atlanta. Green flag is in the air. We're racing from EchoPark. Lap 1 complete, working back down towards turn 1. Lap 2 on the board. 80 are on tap here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Completely forgot to mention, by the way, in all the chaos that was the start of this race, we will have reports from our pit reporter Tyler Vickery throughout the night as well. Looking forward to hearing from him about the bracket matchups, about strategy, about everything that goes into a race here at Atlanta. 80 laps, only 2 extra tire sets in the pits for these guys they'll have to manage throughout the evening as we go. Malik Ray continues to lead the field here off turn 2. A lot of guys going to the back. Lap 4 already on the board. Rather, lap 3 going on the board right here as they pass by the start-finish line. Ray on the outside. Eberhardt on the inside. Harper is up on the outside of row 2. Then Joe Huerta is the next truck back. 3 wide further back. That's around Max Dinda and company, but they have not yet settled it out. Now a couple of trucks looking to the outside. Ethan Eckert, Dylan Basin. You'll notice new colors for Ethan Eckert tonight. He carries the banner for the Jack Shack here at Atlanta, so a bit of a change there for that Toyota Tundra into the familiar number 12. Back to turn 1. Malik Ray continues to lead. No surprise here, the Tint Solutions F-150, or rather Silverado tonight, has gone back to Chevrolet as he is out front. Eckert and Basin continue to work the wall. That's back around Cronky, just inside the top 10. Back to turn 3, now 3 rows of 3 wide. Another truck jumping out in front of it. That's Michael Guest. That's one of the trucks that's in the battle. He's actually alongside the truck that he is racing as part of tonight's March Madness tournament. Eberhardt loose. 1 truck in the wall further back. That was the 00 of Barksdale. He's going to keep it out of the way for now, but he continues to be in the wall. He's going backwards, but no crash. Everybody keeps it on going. We're going to keep it green up front. To the inside, as the inside lane got stacked up. That's behind Eberhardt. Nagels jumps out. Huerta got stuck back there as well. Advantage Malik Ray, but also advantage Matt Lee in the 04. You see him in the center. The green, black, and pink machine, the Toyota Tundra. Field works back to turn number 1. Malik Ray continuing to lead the way. 2 wide all the way back until Cody Nagels in the 6, who makes the first move to the center. He is in the loser's bracket. So let's give you the matchups as they continue to run 3 wide. Let's give you the matchups here on lap 6. In the winner's bracket, these are the 8 drivers left, and here's how they match up. Matt Patton, last year's Cinderella run, he's trying it again. He eliminated Malik Ray last week. He's up against Caden Diedrich here this week. Patton inside the top 10. Caden Diedrich running back outside of the top 30 as they run right now on the racetrack. In fact, I don't currently, unless I'm missing him, see him in the session. So it's possible that we could have our first advancing driver of the night, unless I'm just completely overlooking Caden Diedrich's truck on my timing and scoring. But it's Patton against Diedrich. Then it's Alexander Kroenke, who runs in 4th right now. Michael Guest running right on his back bumper. That is a matchup. Kroenke against Guest. Aaron Smith, who is in the field tonight, he'll run against Dylan Jones. Both those drivers in the field. Smith running in the 34th spot. Dylan Jones running in the 26th spot as they run on track right now. And then it's Jeff Merck against Daniel Eberhardt. Eberhardt running just inside the top 10, highlighted in blue. Jeff Merck running back in the 14th spot. Those are the winner's bracket cars you'll see highlighted in blue. The loser's bracket was offered to drivers who have been eliminated from March Madness and wanted a little bit of the action. They'll be racing for a little bit less money. I believe it's $150 to the champion, $75 to second, $25 to third, or $30 to third, or something like that. Here are those matchups. Nash Brambilla against Nathan Harper. Harper running second. Nash Brambilla running well outside of the top 30 at this point. He's 35th on track. Then it's Cody Nagels and Freddie Bassinez. Nagels runs 10th. Bassinez running back out again outside of the top 30. He's actually off the lead lap, 2 laps down as they run right now. Other 2 matchups, Josh Cruz against Quentin Steinbach, both running mid-pack. And then Hunter Hastings against Wes Campbell. Both those trucks run mid-pack as well. So those winner's bracket trucks are highlighted in blue on the left side of your screen. The loser's bracket trucks highlighted in red on the left side of your screen. So we'll keep an eye on those matchups throughout the night. Again, I'll try to update you as the race goes as to how those matchups are going, but incredible racing from about 8th place on back. As you see back around Cody Nagels, Trevor Oswernoth on the bottom side alongside Matt Lee. The front 15 to 18 trucks run 2 to 3 wide as they go right now. Everybody else has opted to drop to the tail end of the field for the most part and keep this thing safe. Again, only 2 tire sets available additionally to the ones that you started the race on. There is no fast repair as well, and a 60% fuel load likely means that pit strategy is going to be a factor, but some guys, again, the Rays, the Nagels, the Matt Lees, the Eberhardts of the world are going to want to come up here and race. You see Landon Velicki, he's starting to try to knife his way through the field. That's about halfway back. To the bottom, here comes a move. It's D3, Daniel Eberhardt to the inside as he tries to make a move on the leaders, Harper and Ray, who have run really well 1-2 so far. Ray led the opening several laps. Since then, it's been the Nathan Harper show. But now Eberhardt's got help. He's on the bottom side with Cody Nagels. Those two have worked well together over the past several weeks. They're going to try the bottom side and go side by side for the race lead here down the back straightaway. Back to turn 3. Landon Velicki's run up to the penthouse, trying the outside. He's around a couple of trucks back there, including his teammate Joe Huerta. And the 2 in the center is Kevin Cunningham, plus 21 for the driver of the 2. He has driven all the way inside, almost inside the top 10, plus 22 for the driver of that all-white number 2 right in the center of the racetrack. Keep an eye on him as this race continues. Big mover so far. A couple of others, plus 13. Larry McDonald up to 17th, plus 12 for a guy who is racing in the loser's bracket, Wes Campbell. We'll talk to him later tonight as well. A lot of guys have singled out. You see most of the way from about 18th on back. They've settled in along the bottom side of the racetrack and have tried to work into a bit of a groove. The 3 wide has settled out all but 1 row now. 2 wide, Kevin Cunningham. Well, not for long. Michael Guest around the right rear of Matt Lee. That is for the 5th position. As he's going to jump up, Eberhardt's going to throw the block lead through the center. He's got Landon Velicki with him. Where did Velicki come from? He was 17th a moment ago. Nagels is going to jump up on the nose of Matt Lee, equivalently working as teammates tonight, the 6 and the 0-4. Landon Velicki, a former teammate of both. Kevin Cunningham sees that run through the center. A couple of other trucks working forward. Jeff Merck trying to get his way through the field. But Eckert plus 6, Velicki plus 8, Michael Guest plus 5, Bagley plus 8 into the top 10. We talked about Cunningham. Mike Davenport is plus 9 to the 14th position. Nathan Harper continues to lead, but now 6 rows, make it 5 rows of 3 wide back to Brody Walked in here inside the top 15. Guess top to bottom. He's going to go to the push of Basin on the bottom side. 2 drivers have raced around each other a lot on the iRacing service, and Malik Ray sees that coming. Guessed his Ray's teammate, and he and Harper are going to jump down and cover. Outside still, Eberhardt and Eckert. Jeff Merkland and Velicki trying to make the rim run work. Nagels Lee still stuck in the center. Bottom side is where you'll find Bagley, Huerta, Kroenke, and of course the returning Trevor Osborne. Been a while since we've seen the 89, although he is the 30 on the side of the truck. It is the 89 of Osbornoth in the trouble in the middle of the field, and it might be Osbornoth, and it is. A couple of others are going to get involved as well. This may have been a crash, or a caution without a crash. It may have been a caution that was thrown out of abundance of caution, no pun intended. Well, let's go back to the moment the yellow was thrown. No damage on Osbornoth, which makes me believe that maybe just a precautionary issue. The camera angle did not do us any favors. Osbornoth in the left rear, Brody Walked, and no, there are going to be trucks crashed here. Brody Walked in that Hendrick Cars Chevrolet. That's the Wes Campbell machine, I believe, in the 83. Josh Bonwell goes sideways. We saw Osbornoth have the problem. Larry McDonald through the grass. Great angle here of Josh Bonwell. As he gets back going. We'll go back and look at the blimp camera as well, get you a better idea of exactly where this one started. So here's Bonwell. Up ahead, it was Osbornoth into Walked as they went 3 wide. Man, Wes Campbell almost up and over. In the 83, Brock Westmoreland is in it. Daniel Falkingham is in it. Garrett Maines may be in it. This happened towards the tail end of the field. As we continue to look at Josh Bonwell. Go to a couple more angles here and, again, try to give you a better idea of exactly what happened. We're actually going to back this up a little bit further, kind of show you what sparked this one up. We'll get to a different TV tower angle. Actually, we'll go to a drone camera here. And we'll go up to Trevor Osbornoth. That's where this thing gets started. Brody Walked had gotten pushed through the center. And that's where this thing is going to get kicked off. Osbornoth actually may have clipped the apron, washing up the track, and gets into Brody Walked. They were 3 wide. And then the secondary contact is what's going to send the 7 of Walked around. There's Campbell getting into it. Matt Patton almost gets into this as well. There's Larry McDonald. Campbell almost up and over. And a number of other trucks pile into this. See Campbell, Westmoreland, Walked. I want to go back and look at Garrett Maines as well. Possible that he may have been involved in this. Looks like he jumped on the brakes. Possible that Falkingham jumped on the brakes. Ricky Stewart's got some damage in the 27. So a number of trucks are involved in this one. We'll go to one more angle here off turn number 4. Watch this hit for Wes Campbell on the left side of your screen as he almost went up and over. Westmoreland, big hit for him too. There's Bonwell. Oh, out back. Josh McCullough is involved. Sean Corbett, Brian Hennings, Kenny McCullough, Dustin Cowan. Josh Cruz may have gotten involved as well. So a number of cars out back get into it also. The first caution of the night has big implications as a number of drivers in or around the bracket were involved. Josh Cruz, Wes Campbell, both getting involved. Other than that, everybody else, Matt Patton appears to have gotten away unscathed. He was the closest truck to it. Freddie Bassines was back that way as well. He got on the brakes as well. So appears that Cruz and Wes Campbell are the only 2 trucks that are in the bracket that are involved. Wes Campbell, a meatball flag for him. Real quick, before we go back green, let's welcome him in for the first time. Tyler Vickery, our pit reporter downstairs, the status of some of the trucks involved in that incident. So we'll get ready to go back green here on lap number 20. The green flag will come back out. One truck to the inside. That was Max Dinda. Not sure what happened there, but he does not get up through the gears. And he is still yet to fire on the apron. .48 now has it fired. And now rolls, but goodness. A tough break there for Dinda as he's unable to get up through the gears. Oh, trouble! Towards the middle of the pack. Multiple cars getting involved. This is going to draw the caution again. I think it's Quentin Steinbach that's that blue truck that's around, and it is. He's the 22. The caution's right back out, and it's another bracket-affected driver. This time it's Quentin Steinbach out of the loser's bracket as well, as he is involved in truck number 22. I saw this one on the backstretch, about halfway down the backstretch is where this one got sparked. Go back and take a look. This one may have been, oh my goodness, almost a blowover there for Quentin Steinbach. Let's take a look. He was back 3 wide around Garrett Maines. And do they meet in the middle here down the back straightaway? Does look like that's the case. Steinbach coming off the wall just a little bit. Maines going up to maybe grab a side draft. And they come together. Howard Strother Jr. is that other truck, and a halfway blow over there for Quentin Steinbach as he nearly gets up and over, and then he comes back up. I think we were going to avoid a caution, but he comes back up. Larry McDonald, Josh Cruz is in it, so another driver, actually 2 drivers matched up against one another that are involved in this second caution of the night. So Cruz and Steinbach both involved. We'll check the damage and the status of their matchup. Josh McCullough got in it. Dustin Cowan had to jump on the brakes. Another look at it up from the blimp camera. You see Steinbach get hit right there by McDonald. Here comes Josh Cruz in. Dylan Jones gets really lucky there actually in the 11 to not get a piece of that. See Josh McCullough grab a small piece of it as well. So for a couple guys, Josh McCullough, Larry McDonald, Josh Cruz, they've been involved in 2 already tonight. See Osborne, Ricky Stewart, and others dive to the grass to avoid any more contact. One more look at it from the drone camera. And Steinbach comes back up, nowhere for guys to go. Dylan Jones actually may have been involved in it. I think he got away with not having much damage, but he certainly did appear to get some piece of that. So tough for a couple of guys there. They're involved on this, the second caution of the race. A number of cars are on pit road, getting damage repaired. Brody Walk, Brian Hennings, Larry McDonald, Ricky Stewart, Josh Cruz, and Brock Westmoreland. So a number of cars on pit road getting damage repaired. Keep an eye on their status as the race goes on. We'll re-rack. Nathan Harper, Malik Ray still on the front row. Michael Guest, Dylan Basin will be on row 2. Ethan Eckert, Daniel Eberhardt back on row 3. Jeff Merck, Miles Bagley on row 4. Matt Patton and Alexander Kroenke back on the row 5. Actually, it's Kroenke 9th and Patton 10th. So 1 to go. Before we go back green, we'll go green just past lap 20. We're going to try this again. Head downstairs. Our pit reporter, Tyler Vickery. A couple of guys in the bracket involved in incidents right there. What is the status of the trucks that have some damage that we're watching in the brackets tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of incidents for Cruz getting caught up in it. That incident was deemed a racing incident. The previous caution as well, Trevor Osinoff's having to deal with a drive-through penalty for the cause of caution there. Other big developing story, Matt Patton as well. Matt Patton is going to be advancing your first driver into the Final Four, as Caden Diedrich is not in the session. Right now, a lot of drivers are trying to decide playing it safe. There's a few drivers, I believe, took left side tires. Just mainly Brian Hennings, Ricky Stewart, Veliky, trying to mitigate the damage as much as possible. But drivers are already getting a little bit nervous there, and it's already early in the race.
Still early in the race, indeed, just past the quarter mark. So we got a closer look at Joe Huerta's truck back in just inside or outside the top 10. Just past the quarter mark, still early. Only 2 sets of tires available in the pits for these guys. And certainly not the start to the night that a number of them wanted, especially the ones in the bracket. Of course, Wes Campbell is one of those guys. We'll talk to him in just a little bit on one of our next caution flags. Harper and Ray bring us back into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. And away we go towards turn 1. A huge jump for Nathan Harper. Maybe too much of a jump over Malik Ray. It's 2 car lengths back down to turn 1. They'll fan out further back around Nagels, Patton, Lee, and company. Davenport on the bottom. Man, Mike Davenport fighting a loose condition right now into that 55 for Team PGR. He is trying everything he can to keep that truck underneath him, but it has been a struggle so far. Outside, a pair of teammates, Nagels and Lee. They're going to split Patton in the middle. So into the sucker hole goes Matt Patton. Oh, Basin off the bumper of Eberhardt. Big save for the driver for the Jack Shack as Basin is going to get split 4 wide. 3 wide, not enough. Let's try 4 back around Cody Nagels as he and Matt Lee, uber aggressive, get around Dylan Basin after he got shuffled out of line. Goodness. They're going to go to the outside again. Nagels, Lee on the move. Cody Nagels, of course, his first Thursday win back last week in a while. A move to the middle. Here's Eberhardt to the left rear of Ethan Eckert. A little ankle break in there in the center lane. He's going to take Miles Bagley with him. Nagels is going to go with their duo in the center. Matt Lee's going to follow. Up to the center comes Jeff Merck to try to block. That is the Jeff Merck machine. Apologies, looking at timing and scoring. Did not see his name for a moment. That is Jeff Merck towards the front of the field. Remember, he is racing Daniel Eberhardt, and they're nose to tail right now in the center lane. Kroenke and Guest, by the way, side by side. Kroenke bottom of 3 wide, Guest top of 3 wide. A pair of Elite 8 matchups are side by side in turn 3 on the lap 26 mark. Harper continues to lead by a half a car length over Malik Ray. Merck on the inside, contact Eberhardt and Kroenke as it is 3 wide, a couple of rows deep back around Tucker McClendon and company. That's back around the 20th position. Up front, single file, top 4 back to Eckert. Then double file, Patton and Merck. And then it's 2 rows of 3 wide. Nagels, Eberhardt, Kroenke, Lee, Falkingham, Bassinez all in that conversation. Bagley in that conversation as well. Freddie Bassinez plus 24. Daniel Falkingham plus 23. Falkingham, the defending PGR winner at Atlanta a few weeks ago. Looking to go to another victory lane in that PGR eSports sponsored truck that you've seen on Tuesday nights in the Road to Pro qualifying series. So far, so good at the front. 28 down, 53 to go. It continues to be the Chick-fil-A F-150 of Nathan Harper, but look at the Hornet's Nest behind him. 5 rows of 3 wide racing back around Cody Nagels. Nagels, Merck, Kroenke, then Huerta, Eberhardt, Lee, Falkingham, Bagley, Bassinez, Davenport, Dylan Jones getting into the fray, Garrett Maines getting into the fray. Well, the trucks that have not been up here a lot so far in this one, coming to the front now on lap 29. Kevin Cunningham, another move to the center for him. And he's in that 2. He's got the GMS branding aboard that 2 machine. He's right in front of Dylan Jones. Another truck back around those guys. Howard Strother we haven't seen at the front a ton. He is coming forward as well. Howard Strother Jr. raced last night in the ERA Omega Cup race from Auto Club, racing tonight in a PGR start for him. He's that blue, red, and black truck right behind Miles Bagley, 4th on the inside. To the inside, here's the move for the lead. Malik Ray shoots the bottom, takes the lead, back up on the nose of Harper. To the inside comes Jeff Merck further back. A couple of drivers shooting the inside, trying to make it work. Merck up to the middle in front of Eberhardt. They're both in front of Falkingham. Garrett Maines to the middle, out back 9 rows deep of them. Eberhardt trying to get to the outside of Merck. Merck said no. Merck now turns back to the left of Ethan Eckert as Harper got the wall. Guest has to slow up. It's going to stack the outside lane big time as Eckert gives Guest a break to jump back in line. That's going to force Bassinez into the center further back. Malik Ray ahead by 3 car lengths up front. He's obviously going to have these guys catch him in a hurry. Almost trouble out back with Bassinez and Nagels. They all keep it together. Somehow, some way, I'm not sure how we're still green. New leader power move inside the 60 of Jeff Merck to the inside lane. Merck actually running with a PGR contingent tonight in that 60 machine. Here comes Falkingham to the inside as now the revolving door up front begins to swing. As Falkingham will take a look for the lead, pushed by Kevin Cunningham. How about this for the 2, plus 29 positions from where he started. And on the inside of Dylan Jones, that's Alexander Kroenke, who passes Michael Guest. Joe Huerta coming forward as well. Bit of a stack up, by the way. Matt Lee has not been able to get out of the outside wall. He has dropped all the way outside the top 20 back around Hunter Hastings. Inside, Falkingham, 3 wide as Ray splits out Merck. That's going to allow Falkingham to use that to his advantage. He'll go to the lead off of turn 4. Ray to the middle, Cunningham on the bottom. Ray's got Harper. Falkingham has Merck, and Cunningham has Cronky on the bottom side. 3 rows of 3 wide for the lead in Atlanta. Cunningham took a spot out front for the moment in that red, white, and blue number 2, but the outside and middle proved to be too dominant. That's where the leaders are going to come from. Falkingham back to the race lead. Ray in the middle, but here comes Kevin Cunningham again on the bottom. Pushers not really getting too close. Harper's been the closest, but the middle lane has been unable to win any of those battles to this point. Guest files in third on the outside lane in the black 21. Fourth in line each way. Nagels bottom side, Mains middle, Eckert top side. Carson Freeman enters the frame for the first time. He's 14th. He's the red, white, and gold, or red, black, and gold. Number 4 right behind Cody Nagels, 5th on the inside. 3 wide, about 8 rows deep in this opening pack. Some of the most photogenic racing we have ever had in Atlanta in the PGR Series. 4 wide, Bassanez and Eberhardt. Bassanez cuts him a break. Right in the center lane of the racetrack. That's a big break that Bassanez will not give Daniel Eberhardt later in the race. Here's the move to the center again. Malik Ray in the 10th Solutions. Chevrolet Silverado is going to go middle to bottom. Falkingham down to side draft. Malik Ray back to the lead. Merck topside against the wall as they both try to run the middle. Not enough real estate for that there, boys. Work back up. Ray works up the racetrack. Willing to trade paint with Falkingham here off 4. Maybe a little bit of contact there. That brings Kevin Cunningham back into the conversation. Falkingham continues to lead 5 laps from halfway. There's still 45 to go. Harper looks to the inside of Ray, cuts him a break on entry to 1. That brings Dylan Jones into the fray. Garrett Maines into the fray. Harper back up to the center. He'll go to the nose of Jones. Eckert's in the wall. Ethan Eckert in the fence right in front of Howard Strother Jr. Matt Lee re-enters the fray from 22nd to 10th in 3 laps. Falkingham continuing to work the outside up against the fence. Ray going middle to bottom down to the nose of Harper. Those two have worked so well together early on in this one. Further back, Eberhardt and Nagels trying to make the center work as Dylan Jones is in the sucker hole. The outside continues to be where the momentum is. Falkingham leads. Merck wants it. Shoots the gap. Here comes Jeff Merck. To the inside, he's going to try to do the same thing Malik Ray did a moment ago. I don't think he's going to clear up. It's going to be awfully close. He will throw it on the nose. Oh, the red, white, and blue 39. Jeff Merck back to the point. Silver, blue, and black aboard that 60. A bit of a new look for him. Falkingham back to the outside as Merck wants to run the red and white line on the bottom side of the racetrack. As we've settled out mostly to 2 wide, there is some 3 wide back around Cody Nagels, Carson Freeman, and company, but 2 wide here at the front. We'll take a second to catch a breath here as they're 2 wide, but not for long. Landon Velicki looking to the outside quarter panel of Daniel Eberhardt. Nothing doing there. The driver of the 62. On the backstretch, back to turn number 3. Merck continuing to lead over Falkingham and Ray. 2 laps away from halfway home. Velicki 3 wide back with Eckert and company as Merck continues to lead the way. Back to turn 1. Harper loose on the inside. Maines loose on the top side. Tires are starting to get a little bit sketchy, if you will, on these Craftsman trucks. Merck continues to lead, running the outside lane. Ray looks to the inside of Falkingham. That would be for second, but Harper puts his nose inside of Malik Ray. That'll be for third. As the grip goes away, you're going to see less of that 3 wide racing and more 2 wide as guys go where the grip is. Grip ball seems to be up top right now. Cunningham through the center, but he's going to get split. Daniel Eberhardt at the bottom side of him. Cunningham stuck in the sucker hole. Out back, Eckert, Cronky, and others get caught racing off turn 2. That's back to 3 wide. That's back around Nagels, Eckert, Cronky, and company right outside the top 10. Continues to be all Jeff Merck up front. Harper swings bottom to top right on the nose of Malik Ray. Halfway at Atlanta in what's been a barn burner to this point. Hope that you all are enjoying. Thanks so much for coming out and joining us for another exciting Thursday here in the March Madness tournament. Elite 8 racing tonight. Matt Lee to the inside, trying to split out 3 wide. Again, you see that inside lane is starting to die. It's pretty realistic actually to how the trucks run in real life here at Atlanta when that inside starts to fade and the tires start to go away and guys bail to the top. Oh, trouble! Kroenke gets turned. Bracket implications. Alexander Kroenke around in the 57. The yellow will come out. Landon Veliky is involved. And caution. And this one implicates one of the drivers in March Madness as he almost gets hit by a driver coming on from behind. Alexander Kroenke involved in this one. Ricky Stewart goes for a spin. Catch your breath. So Kroenke goes around. This has strategy implications as well. We'll talk to Tyler Vickery about that here in just a moment. Let's go back first. Give you an idea of what happened on this caution. We're going to have to back it up a little bit more. As it was Kroenke that got around first. Again, this is back around Miles Bagley and company. They were 3 wide coming off turn number 4, and as Kroenke tries to follow that line, Bagley gets into his right rear, and it is on from there. Bagley into the right rear of Kroenke. Kroenke pins Veliky to the fence. Might be big damage here on Landon Veliky. A hit there for Kroenke into the outside wall. And a couple of other cars involved. Oh, man, that's Nash Brambilla. So more bracket implications here, as Brambilla is in it as well. We'll check all 3 of these trucks. Landon Veliky, to me, appears to have the most severe damage here in the 62 for the Jack Shack. It did not appear that his wheels were turning on the front end of that truck. What, Kroenke and Brambilla, the bracket implications on this, the 3rd caution of the night. Let's go back. We're gonna have to back it up just a little bit. We catch this one just a tad late. Let's go to the drone camera. Get a second look at this one. There's the contact between Bagley and Kroenke. It sends Kroenke to his right. Nothing he can do in the 57. He pins Veliky to the wall. That first hit for Veliky isn't bad. It's that one that I think causes the most damage to the left front of the 62. And you're on old tires. There's no grip. You're going so fast through there. And if you're Nash Brambilla, there's not much you can do as he gets caught up in this and goes into the outside wall as well. We'll take one more look from the tower cam. You see the hit here from Brambilla. That's what I kind of wanted to focus on. He gets up off the ground. Some right rear damage. I'm curious if there's any suspension damage to his truck. But he definitely got some cosmetic damage on the right front that he'll have to address, and is doing so now on pit road. So 3rd caution of the night is out. Kevin Cunningham has actually inherited the lead here, as a couple of guys will get wave arounds. Brock Westmoreland is one of those trucks. Michael Barksdale is still running as well. Wes Campbell, Sean Corbett called it an evening earlier in tonight's race. A couple of guys trying to get wave arounds, though. Let's talk strategy as we get ready to go back green. We'll go back downstairs. Our pit reporter, Tyler Vickery. Some pitting implications there. What were the strategy talks after that caution flag came out just past halfway?
A lot of top guys were actually talking about tires. Tires were fading off very quickly for them, as Falkingham and Merck were actually kind of caught off guard, as Falkingham was actually giving a very good push to Merck, and they were very cautiously pulling away from the group. So they feel like tires are going to be very big here, as Falkingham decided to take 4. A lot of the other drivers took 4. However, Kevin Cunningham as well as Howard Stofter both only took right side tires only. Everyone else in the entire field all took 4 tires and everything, as Merck is not happy over the voice chat right now. iRacing's giving him some more EOL penalties apparently. Overall though, the strategy is going to be key. We'll see what Kevin Cunningham can do on the 2 right side tires, while everyone else other than the 86 of Howard Stoford are all on 4 tires.
It's a gamble to take 2 tires with the fallout that we've seen so far tonight at Atlanta. Everyone else opting to use a set here. Curious now to see who has a set left. Again, remember, 2 extra sets aboard these Craftsman trucks. So some guys have 1 set left. Some guys might have 0 sets left at this point in the race, and with still just over 35 to go. Certainly not the wisest decision to use your last set of tires now, but the fall off we saw was immense. I've got a question about the bracket colors in the chat. Yes, the blue Drivers in blue are in the winner's bracket. They are the Elite 8 left in the March Madness. The drivers highlighted in red are in what we're calling the loser's bracket. Drivers eliminated early in March Madness that wanted another shot. After round one, they reseeded the field into a loser's bracket and put those guys in accordingly. Green flag back in the air, lap 46 on the board, 35 to go at Atlanta. Kevin Cunningham, remember, is on right side tires only. Everyone around him is on 4 as they work up the banking of turns 1 and 2. Daniel Falkingham to the race lead. Most everybody single file. A lot of guys may have topped off here as well. It's possible fuel mileage will come into play in this race. Trouble! Jeff Merck's around. The 60 gets turned. Will he come back up? He's trying not to. The caution is not going to come out. We're trying to get back to focus on Jeff Merck. He is dropping like a rock through the field. Alexander Kroenke is coming back to pit road. Actually, the cause of caution goes against Kroenke as Jeff Merck has severe damage on the 60. We'll get an update on him later in this race as well. 34 to go, and back up front we go. Daniel Falkingham is the leader. You saw Kroenke. A note there, he got the cause of caution penalty. That is a drive-through penalty for one of the bracket drivers, Alexander Kroenke. He has to come serve that. He was doing so right there. Up front, Daniel Falkingham, Garrett Maines, run 1-2. Then it's Cody Nagels looking for back-to-back victories. Remember, has the longest consecutive streak of victories in PGR Series history with 4 about a year ago. So Cody Nagels looking to go back-to-back. He would be one of the only drivers also to go back-to-back more than once in the Intimidator Superspeedway Series. A break in the pack is starting to form, but it's going to get closed up very quickly. It was back around Howard Strother that break in the pack started. It's closed up fairly quickly here, so it will still be a considerable amount of the trucks in the lead pack. The lead pack, by the way, goes all the way back to the Max Dyna machine. That is 29th position, the last car in this lead draft. Everyone else is off the pace in some way, shape, or form. Falkingham leads to the line, 32 to go. So Falkingham leads up the banking. Maines trails him. Garrett Maines looking to have a really good week in that Wigan Toyota. Remember, he won an Auto Club last night in the Area Omega Cup race in what was an electric battle between he, Malik Wright, Jordy Lopez, and Andre Castro. If you missed that one, it's on the PGR eSports channel from last night. It was an epic last 20 laps that saw Garrett Maines get the best of the field last night in Fontana, looking to go back-to-back on back-to-back nights and get a win on a Thursday as well. But Falkingham runs out in front of him, one of the winningest drivers in the series. In his own right, Cody Nagels trying to block Malik Ray to the fence. He'll do so off turn 2 as Malik Ray tried to split him 3 wide. Matt Lee is stuck in the center. That's just inside the top 10. He's that bright green and black truck in the middle. Falkingham ahead by about a car length and a half. Dylan Jones through on the inside. He's got Miles Bagley with him. Freddie Bassinez and Hunter Hastings are with them. For what it's worth, Wes Campbell out of tonight's race. Hunter Hastings advances to the semifinals of the losers bracket. Josh Cruz, Quentin Steinbach both still running. Cody Nagels, Freddie Bassinez both still running, as are Nash Brambilla and Nathan Harper. Although Nathan Harper's dropped considerably back in the field. Nash Brambilla, though, is off the draft in 36th. For the winner's bracket, Patton is already advanced. Michael Guest runs in 10th with Alexander Kroenke serving the penalty. He'll need a caution to get back into this one. Aaron Smith runs in the 27th spot. Dylan Jones is up front here in 3rd. And then Jeff Merck just got in that crash with Daniel Eberhardt running 9th. So Michael Guest, Daniel Eberhardt, and Dylan Jones looking awfully good in their matchups right now. As are Nathan Harper and Hunter Hastings in the loser's bracket. 3 wide up front. Maines to the inside. He shot the bottom on Falkingham. 3 wide back around the teammates. Nagels in the lead. Bagley on the inside of that group. As Daniel Eberhardt's through the center, and Michael Guest is going to take a shot through the center. He was going to. Contact, Matt Lee and Cody Nagels. There are teammates there. Top and middle, made some contact there to turn 1. Maines does get in front of Falkingham. He'll clear all the way up the wall to help him, Matt Lee. Inside now for the lead. Here comes Dylan Jones. Trying to get it here into turn 3, but no, it's actually going to be the middle that prevails. On the push of Malik Gray, it's Matt Lee to the inside of Garrett Maines. It's been a minute since Matt Lee has been to PGR victory lane, trying to do so tonight, and that's 0-4. He's got the push from Malik Ray. Outside continues to be Maines, then Falkingham, and then Cody Nagels. Bottom side, Jones, Bagley, Bassinez, Hastings, and then Matt Patton. The Cinderella story will continue to the Final 4, but he's trying to find a way to victory lane tonight. Brock Westmoreland's going to dive off the racetrack. Considerable damage to his number 30 for Team PGR. So go Another lap down. Alexander Kroenke, by the way, is 1 lap down as well. He's in dire straits here without a quick caution. Almost 4 wide, back around Bagley and company as Matt Lee loses all his help. Malik Ray and company bail to the outside lane. And Matt Lee will drop a couple of rows back. So now Maines, Falkingham, Nagels, Eckert, Jones, your top 5. Ethan Eckert in the top 5. Pretty slow start to 2026 for Ethan Eckert as well in that 12. Brand new gray and yellow and black paint scheme aboard his truck tonight. The Jack Shack, the colors aboard that Toyota. As he tries to get himself into victory lane for what I think would be the first time in 2026. It is a meatball flag for Brock Westermerlin. He has crashed again, so unfortunate there for the 30, but his night appears to have coming to an early end. 25 to go. We're into crunch time here in Atlanta. If you're just joining us, PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series action, the Elite 8 of the March Madness tournament. We'll keep you updated on all the bracket drivers. Left side of your screen, the drivers in blue are in the winner's bracket. Trouble out back. Multiple cars around. The yellow flag's going to be drawn here as multiple have gone for a slide. Trying to figure out who's involved in this one. I did not get any indication of who this might have been. It looks like it's Mike Davenport, and it is. So Mike Davenport is involved. And let's go back, take a look at what happened to the 55. Looks like some contact with Kevin Cunningham, who was on old tires. Old left side tires, that is. Let's go back a little bit further. Again, this was back just behind the Matt Patton machine we were just talking about. Ooh, Davenport gets the wall and slows him up. Cunningham, nothing he can do. He's trying to jump on the brakes. Can't do it. Davenport gets turned over, corrects, and then smacks the outside wall there, noses in. And does he get hit again? Oh, my goodness, a big hit there on the gas tank in that left rear quarter. And it does not look like he got hit. Again, race control opting to throw the caution there out of an abundance of caution for the guys out back. So good call there from race control to go ahead and throw the caution. Not sure why it took us back to that caution. We'll go back to the one with Davenport. Back this up a little bit more so you can see where this one gets started. You see Davenport's going to try to cover this outside lane and goes a little bit too far on entry and slaps the outside wall. And then Cunningham, there's nothing Kevin Cunningham can do there. I know in slow motion it looks like Cunningham just drove right through Mike Davenport, but that happened so fast that there's not much that either truck can do there to avoid any kind of contact. So Davenport goes for a spin. Nobody manages to hit him. And we avoid disaster. Some split strategies here. Malik Ray, Joe Huerta, Dylan Basin, Nathan Harper, Ethan Eckert, Quentin Steinbach, Michael Guest, Aaron Smith, Carson Freeman, amongst others, coming to pit road along with the damaged trucks that we've noted throughout the night. Here are the trucks that stayed out. It'll be the top 14 on the racetrack. Here are those trucks. Garrett Maines, Cody Nagels, Daniel Falkingham, Matt Lee, Hunter Hastings, Miles Bagley, Dylan Jones, Freddie Bassinis, Daniel Eberhardt, Larry McDonald, Matthew Patton, Josh McCullough, Kenny McCullough, and Trevor Osbornoff. Those are the 14 trucks that have stayed out on this, the fourth caution of the night. We're into crunch time now, just over 20 laps to go in Atlanta. So a couple of different strategies there. As we get ready to go back green, about a split strategy. About half of the lead draft decided to stay out. Half of the lead draft decides to pit. With 23 laps to go, an urgent story in the bracket. This will be urgent news for Michael Guest in the 21. A problem apparently for Alexander Kroenke. Let's go downstairs. Tyler Vickery, our pit reporter. What happened to the 57 of Kroenke on this, the fourth caution of the night?
Yeah, it looks like Alexander had an issue with the internet connection, I guess. Noticed that he actually had disconnected from the server, just a drop in connection for his computer going into iRacing. He is connecting back in, but a big developing story for him. The other big situation now is a lot of the cars from 15th on back. Ethan Eckert took 4 tires as well as the entire rest of the field that pitted. Only difference is Quentin Steinbach. Quentin Steinbach only took fuel only from what I'm seeing. He only had a 6-second stop in the box. Every other driver from 16th on back all took 4 tires. So they are going to have about a 14 lap difference on tires when it comes to how much rubber they're going to have on the tire, and if they're going to be able to make any runs through the field. So have to definitely keep an eye on those drivers, especially Ethan Eckert, Dylan Basin, Malik Ray, Michael Guest, and the rest of the field.
So interesting, a number of drivers taking 4 tires. That would eliminate any more sticker sets of tires in the pits for them. So they're going to have a tire advantage now. But man, come 10 to go, we get another caution. And these top 14 that stayed out right here back to Kenny McCullough are going to have a serious advantage on tires if those guys from 15th on back burn up their equipment coming back to the front. It would be advantage top 14. Of course, this thing runs out green, advantage from Ethan Eckert on back. So we'll keep an eye on how that pans out. Of course, Alexander Kroenke trying to load back in as well. He needs a miracle to advance in March Madness. Green flag back in the air. Garrett Maines continuing to lead. Notable here as we go back. Green split through the center. That's for a spot in the loser's bracket. Bassinez racing Cody Nagels. Passes him on the racetrack. That's for a spot in the next round of March Madness in the loser's bracket. Those two racing each other. Again, we know to the guys that have already advanced. Matt Patton is already in with Caden Diedrich not getting back in the session. With Alexander Kroenke, he's going another lap down. Michael Guest is getting closer to locking himself in as well in the 21. Aaron Smith, Dylan Jones, both still in the lead lap, both still in the lead pack, as are Daniel Eberhardt and the Jeff Merck machine. Merck back in 28th, Eberhardt up front. Aaron Smith, 18th. Dylan Jones running P2. Keep an eye on those two matchups. In the loser's bracket, of course, Cody and Freddie. They're borderline side by side here down the backstretch. That's the best matchup right now of anybody. Nathan Harper and Nash Brambilla. Harper is 14th. Brambilla is 33rd, still fixing damage on the 23. Josh Cruz and Quentin Steinbach. Steinbach is 18th. Cruz is 37th. And, of course, Hunter Hastings is already advanced with Wes Campbell retiring early. Battle for the win. The race within the race. Trouble! Cody Nagels gets turned by Ethan Eckert. That was almost a crash, but Nagels made the save. And keeps going. How in the world did Cody Nagels keep that truck from crashing? He saves his race, and he saves his run in the loser's bracket as well, though he's got work to do now to get back to Freddie Bassinez. New tires through the center. Malik Ray and Ethan Eckert, they're both on 4. Two of the first to get back to the front after this restart. Trying to come forward. They bring a teammate with them. Freddie Bassinez, look at the run through the center. Freddie Bassinez around Falkingham, around Bagley. To the back bumper, Matt Lee. Garrett Maines continues to lead with Lee on his back bumper. Out back, some trouble back around Joe Huerta and Brody Walked as those guys try to catch the lead draft. 18 to go. It'll be 17 when they come back. Bassinez to the right rear of Lee. Lee made the defensive move. He'll go to the push of Malik Ray here off turn 4. Ray to the inside of Lee. They're going to split. Eckert almost crashes with Ray and Bassinez right there. Eckert to the bottom on the bumper of Jones. An offset push. Everybody lives through it. Matt Lee throws the block on Malik Ray, but the caution flag is out further back. And it's just outside the top 10. This might be a considerable incident here. Trying to figure out who's involved in this one. Bonwell, Strother. Looks like Dylan Basin. We'll start there. And try to figure out where this one got started. Catch your breath once again. Let's go back. Take a look. It actually starts up in front of Basin. So it's actually going to be around Hunter Hastings. Man, I don't know how the camera angle doesn't catch this. This is up around Cody Nagels, Hunter Hastings, and Josh McCullough, which is where this one is going to get started. And let's see if we can figure out exactly what goes on this, the 5th caution of the night. Nagels into the left rear of McCullough. They're going to both come down into Hunter Hastings. And around they go. Kenny McCullough gets a piece. Trevor Osmanoff jumps on the brakes. Out back, Cunningham into Huerta. Basin gets into his teammate. So the 48 into the 1. There's Patton getting a piece. Further back, Basin. As everybody up here, Larry McDonald gets hit by Steinbach. Kevin Cunningham is in it. Howard Strother's going to get in it. I think Josh Bonwell ends up in this. So a number of trucks involved. In the middle portions of the field. Go back, take another look. Again, this was working up the banking of turn 1. Right there's the contact between Josh McCullough and Cody Nagels. Nowhere for Hunter Hastings to go. He's an innocent bystander. Same with Kenny McCullough. Trevor Osronoff is actually involved. He got a front-end hit on the front of that 30. Hastings into the wall trying to save it. McCullough into him. Here comes Matt Patton. Brody walked, and the Hendrick cars Chevrolet may have got involved in this as well. He got a piece further back on Joe Huerta. McDonald and Steinbach. There's Cunningham. Here comes Strother. Here comes Bonwell. McClendon diving out of the way. That's Tucker McClendon on the right side of your screen as Basin got spun around backwards. There's Strother going around. He's the blue and red and black truck. It's either red or pink. Bonwell spins just trying to come to a stop. Max Dinah comes to a stop as well. So a couple of trucks that may not have been hugely involved in that just were around the incident. One more look at it before we get ready to go back green. Again, you could ask the question, how did Cody Nagel save that? Notably, look at Aaron Smith on the bottom side in the all-yellow 70. As he makes it through, that's bracket implications as he's now that much closer to Dylan Jones. You see the 86 there, Strother. And others coming into it as well. This one seemed to be guys going for the same piece of real estate, and in Atlanta that is so common. As Nagels and McCullough went for the same few inches of room there in the entry to turn one, they came together and it was on from there with a number of innocent bystanders involved in it as well. So we will reset once again. Fifth caution of the night is out as we will put lap 67 on the board. 14 to go. It'll be 13 to go when we go back green. It's now officially crunch time. Call to caution there. Going to go against Josh McCullough into the 0-5. That's a drive-through penalty for him. Remember, that switches to an end-of-line penalty inside of 10 laps to go. With 14 to go, it will be a drive-through for Josh McCullough, so a critical penalty there as his chances of the win. He'll need some help now with another caution. Let's check in on the bracket before we go back green. We'll start with the winner's bracket again. Matthew Patton is advanced in the 3, so nothing he's racing for tonight besides payouts. Alexander Kroenke continues to be 3 laps down as Michael Guest runs in the 8th position, so it's becoming more and more unlikely that the underdog story of Alexander Kroenke will continue forward. Dylan Jones against Aaron Smith has become a very hotly contested battle on the racetrack. Dylan Jones is going to restart 7th. Aaron Smith is going to restart 12th. And then Jeff Merck and Daniel Eberhardt. Eberhardt will restart in the 20th position. Jeff Merck will restart in 32nd. Then losers bracket, Nash Brambilla and Nathan Harper. Harper will restart 6th. Brambilla will restart towards the tail end of this lead draft in 35th. Cody Nagels and Freddie Bassinez. Nagels will restart 9th. Bassinez will restart 4th. Josh Cruz and Quentin Steinbach. Cruz in the 34th position. Quentin Steinbach in 24th. And Hunter Hastings has advanced out of the losers bracket. More to race for than that. $150 to the winner, by the way. We'll talk about payouts if we get another opportunity under the caution flag. But we're going to go back green again. Green flag back in the air. 13 to go at Atlanta. The inside gets the better jump. Maines and Malik Ray connected off to turn 1. Ray's going to lift and blipped it just a little bit there as Matt Leake tried to get to the outside of Garrett Maines. Ray pushes Maines clear and then releases. Bassinez looking 3 wide around Matt Lee. Matt Lee's going to get turned. Matt Lee turned to the outside wall. This will draw the caution, and he's going to get hammered. Daniel Falkingham, Miles Bagley, the big one, strikes on the backstretch. Merck in it, McCullough in it, Bagley, Stewart, Hastings, Falkingham, Basin, McClendon, and more. That one got started with Matt Lee and Freddie Bassinez at the front of the field. We're going to have to back this one up just a little bit, show you where this contact occurred. There is a little bit of contact here between the 0-4 and the 2. You saw it happen live on your screens. And from there, it becomes Calamity Corner. You're going to see Daniel Falkingham. This is going to be a monster hit when he works his way into this incident. Bassinez tries to fake out Matt Lee, and in doing so, when Lee slides across the bumper of the 2, he gets hooked just a little bit to his left as the car unloads off the banking. Lee goes sideways, and then the truck does not get all the way around. It just stops in the middle of the racetrack and spins to the right instead of to the left. It looked like everybody was going to miss this. Falkingham to the back of Patton, and then just Not enough time to get out of it. Big hit for Falkingham as he launches off the ground. Bagley is in it in the 87. Larry McDonald gets hit from behind by Ricky Stewart. Daniel Eberhardt is in this, so some more bracket implications here. Both Merck and Eberhardt are involved. Quentin Steinbach is in it also. There's Stewart, McClendon, Hastings, and McDonald. The first double-digit crash of the night. Mike Davenport may have gotten into it. There's Lee. He's actually going to slide into it on the backside, too. Look at Nash Brambilla. Can he thread the needle? Can he keep his hopes alive in March Madness in the loser's bracket? He can. Dylan Basin just comes to a stop here. Joe Huerta scrambling through as well. So a lot to unpack. A lot to see on this incident as well. That hit for Daniel Falkingham. I mean, my goodness. You'll see it again here. We'll go back up to Matt Lee. A little bit of contact here off turn 2. You can't really see it from the drone camera that we're on. There is a little bit of contact there from Matt Lee. Oh my goodness, the hit from Falkingham to Matt Lee. Josh McCullough may have gotten in this as well. Kevin Cunningham, Michael Barksdale. Cunningham actually crashed further up. Looks like everybody else gets through unscathed. Another look at it. We're going to go on board with Nash Brambilla real quick as well. So you'll see this contact between Bassinez and Matt Lee. And it's right there where Lee slides across the bumper. And I noted a term that we like to call the car wants to unload. And what I mean by that is when you come off the banking, the weight shifts back from the left side of the car, which gravity takes all that weight to the left side. It shifts back to the center, and it can make the truck a little bit light in your hands. And the drivers feel that as it kind of floats off the ground just a little bit. Goodness, look at that hit from Falkingham. And Bagley, Eberhardt, Jeff Merck's going to come into this. He's the 60. He's the silver truck right in the center of your screen. Michael Barksdale, Cunningham, Steinbach, and others. But what I mean by that is Lee's truck gets a little bit floaty, and then it kind of goes across the nose of Bassinez, and it got him kicked out to the left. And with a car that light, it's so easy for it to kick to the left and start to spin. He overcorrects, comes back to the right, and then again just gets unlucky that the car just kind of slides instead of spinning all the way around and pinning to the wall on the left side. It just slides and stays jackknifed across the field, and then he gets obliterated by Daniel Falkingham. We'll try to go to 2 onboards here. I want to go to 2. I want to first go to Nash Brambilla, and then I want to go to Daniel Falkingham as well. So we'll start with Brambilla, and then we'll go to Falkingham as the second. I want to get on board with both. You're on board first with Nash Brambilla. And I'll tell you, as we get to the end of this onboard shot, I think this is what you're going to see when we go back and watch this onboard with Daniel Falkingham. We're going to go on board here with Falkingham momentarily, but what I think you're going to see is that the smoke off of the cars in front, you saw there for Brambilla, he can't see where the trucks are because of how thick that smoke is. We've gotten a report, and we'll get more from Tyler Vickery on this in a second, that maybe Falkingham could not see the Matt Lee truck. Well, I don't know. You could see it from that angle, but unsure exactly what the issue was there. But, man, that's a big hit for Daniel Falkingham. Some trucks called tonight. We actually went back a little bit too late, so trying to get back to the front of the pack here. So we are back under the green flag, 9 laps to go. Sorry about that. Want to get those 2 onboard shots in. Up front, battle for the lead. Malik Ray to the inside. Bassinez to the outside. Jones and Maines. Oh, my goodness. How'd they not make contact? That's Tucker McClendon, by the way, that you saw spun out when we came back to green flag racing. Oh, Aaron Smith into the wall. Back around Josh Bonwell. Joe Huerta shot out of a cannon inside the top 15. But it was Tucker McClendon that was crashed in the all-white 67. If we get a chance, we'll take a look. But with 8 laps to go, we may not get a chance. But it was McClendon who was spun out on the restart. Green flag back in the air. Bassinez to the lead. He's shot to the inside of Malik Ray, his teammate. Harper trying to shoot to the bottom of both of them. 7 laps to go. Single digits on the board. Bassinez on the inside. Maines trying to get to the outside of Michael Guest. He's got no help up there, though. Freddie Bassinez continuing to lead the way on the inside, but the outside's where the momentum is. Ray, Guest, and Maines Bassinez, with a cause of caution, will have to serve it, and with it being outside of 10 to go, it is a drive-through penalty. And just a horrible turn of luck for Freddie Bassinez there that happened on that last caution, because now Cody Nagels is in the driver's seat for that matchup if this race goes green all the way out. But with the way they've been racing, I highly doubt that's going to happen. Malik Ray inherits the lead as Bassinez starts a penalty. Speaking of Nagels, trouble back around him. Aaron Smith turned. More bracket implications with 7 to go as Bassinez gets a lifeline. How did Aaron Smith keep this truck going straight? Check to see if there's any damage. Does look like that truck is struggling a little bit on the suspension, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Aaron Smith got back around. Ironically enough, we were just talking about the matchup between Cody Nagels and Freddie Bassinez, and it almost saw Cody Nagels get into an incident right after Bassinez came to serve the penalty. Twists, turns all over the place tonight in Atlanta. Go get a look at what started this. Again, this was back around Aaron Smith. This actually started with Cody Nagels, so we're going to have to back this up. We'll see what happened to Nagels first. See Aaron Smith there on the outside. He's got Nagels in front of him. That's actually going to be very similar to what we just saw with Matt Lee and Freddie Bassinez. Bit of a push gone wrong as Cody's truck went to unload off the banking. Ooh, actually, a little bit of phasing. That's what we like to call netcode phasing there from the 70 to the 6. And Aaron Smith, I don't think he realized that he was kind of phased inside Cody Nagels' bumper. And when he starts to lift, Kevin Cunningham has nowhere to go, gets into the back of him. Almost up and over for Smith. Kenny McCullough gets a piece as well. As Josh Cruz jumps on the brakes, that's a big deal for Cruz, by the way, as he keeps himself alive. He's actually worked back in front of Quentin Steinbach there. Those two are on your screen. So I want to take one more look at this. Obviously, with it being a little bit smaller incident, don't want to miss the green flag either. Let's actually back this up. Show you the contact between Nagels and Smith first. This is actually going to give us a pretty good look at it, too. This is kind of what I meant by Nagels' truck is starting to unload at the banking of turn 2, but then there's a little bit of phasing there. You see the bumpers are kind of interconnected. Nagels gets turned, somehow makes the save. Again, I have no idea. And then Smith gets turned by the onrushing Kevin Cunningham, who just has nowhere to go. Almost up and over for Aaron Smith. Cunningham involved. Cruz, Steinbach make their way past it. Actually, a tank slap there for Cunningham as well in the 2. It's back live. 7th caution of the night on the racetrack. Inside of 5 laps to go. In fact, it'll be 3 to go. So it's going to be a natural green-white checkered when we go back green. There's one green-white checkered available beyond regulation, but this will be an organic regulation green-white checkered, so this will not count as the one overtime attempt. Aaron Smith has been given the cause of caution penalty. With Dylan Jones running 6th and only a couple of laps to go, Aaron Smith now needs a miracle to keep his run going. Got an update potentially on a multi-time PGR winner, Daniel Falkingham. Downstairs we go to Tyler Vickery. Tyler, what are you hearing on truck number 39?
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham's got a flat right side tires just from the damage. I don't know if he has another set of tires to be able to use. Going to be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, the wreck earlier on for Falkingham, he even reported, and even on his onboard, he had no idea Lee was completely sideways there. He's seen the smoke, but just the vision he had being right behind Patton, there was nothing he could be able to do there. So very heavy hit and had over 11 minutes of damage trying to repair, but the flat tire might do him in there. But a lot of these drivers, they know it's time to turn up the wick, and it's very aggressive. Cody Nagels, I believe, also I've noticed has a black flag that he still needs to serve as well. So a lot of things are happening at once, and these drivers are getting very antsy.
We got to be antsy now. 2 laps to go. Let's update you real quick on the bracket before we go back green. Let's re-rack the field first. Malik Ray, Michael Guest, Nathan Harper, Garrett Maines, Ethan Eckert, your top 5. Dylan Jones, Joe Huerta, Trevor Osborne, Max Dinda, and Carson Freeman, the rest of the top 10. Potential for some upsets there. Matt Patton has advanced. Michael Guest has all but advanced now in the 21 unless he has a disaster. Dylan Jones likely to advance against Aaron Smith with his penalty. Daniel Eberhardt and Jeff Merck continue to run 24th and 25th. We'll watch that one. We'll update you on the losers bracket when this race comes to an end. Will we finish it right here, or will we need a couple of laps beyond regulation? 2 laps to go in the Elite 8. Green flag back in the air. Ray gets off and running ahead of Michael Guest. He'll drop top to bottom here as they work towards turn number 1. Again, only 2 laps to go. If we get to the white flag, this race is official and it will finish right here. Keep it on the left side of your screen for your bracket drivers. They're highlighted in blue and red. Malik Ray to the inside. He's got a teammate behind him in Michael Guest. Outside is Maines, then Jones, then Joe Huerta. Trevor Osbornoth is in this as well. A pair of Jack Shack teammates. Ray up to block Maines. Off turn 4. We're going to finish it right here. White flag is up. 1 lap to go in Atlanta. Ray leads back to turn 1. Does anybody make a move? Garrett Maines trying to push himself clear. Up the banking of turn 1. Ray almost getting turned by Garrett Maines. Does anybody make a move here? Does Garrett... Is he content to push Malik Ray to the win, or does he try to make a move himself? Back to turn 3 for the final time. Ray to the bottom. Maines trying to get to his right rear. Guest doors him up the racetrack, and that could be all she wrote. 3 wide for 5th on back. Crash back around Matt Patton. Side by side for the win. Malik Ray wins in Atlanta as they crash behind him from 5th on back. A number of trucks crash after the checkered flag there in the quad oval. As Malik Ray will come around, he'll get to do the burnouts on the front stretch. So we'll get to watch him do his donuts. We'll update you on the bracket in a moment. And actually, we're being told this crash happened before the checker, so this could get interesting with some bracket implications. So we'll go back. We'll actually take a look at it here in just a moment. But it's Malik Ray that gets to celebrate as he has another PGR win on his decorated resume tonight from Atlanta. So we're being told the issue in terms of the incident coming to the line, it's an issue with incident points. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the official results first, and we're going to use that to get our answers for potential issues with incident points. Because, of course, if you'll remember, penalties are given at 20 incident points tonight. 24 incidents was a disqualification. So a couple of guys may have gotten a penalty right at the end that may affect the finishing order. We'll go through the finishing results and tell you if those are, in fact, going to become a problem. Of course, Malik Ray, the win is official for him as he puts on a heck of a performance tonight. Atlanta never really ran outside the top 5. He wins once again in his decorated PGR career. Michael Guest, second. He is in to the Final 4 as he punches his ticket with a second-place finish. And then Nathan Harper rounds out the podium. What a start to 2026 it's been for Nathan Harper to this point. He gets by Nash Brambilla in the losers bracket to the semifinals. Goes the Chick-fil-A F-150. Ethan Eckert finishes in 4th tonight with Garrett Maines back into the 5th spot. Joe Huerta finishes 6th. Max Dinda in 7th. Carson Freeman in 8th. Trevor Osbornoth, welcome back to PGR. He finishes 9th. And Brian Hennings finishes in the 10th spot. Dylan Basin goes 11th. Another bracket entry here. Dylan Jones is through to the Final 4 with a 12th place finishing position. Matthew Patton back in 13th. Dustin Cowan 14th. Howard Strother in 15th. As of now, Josh Cruz advances with a 16th place finish into the semifinals of the losers bracket. Daniel Eberhardt advances as well with his 17th place finish. Josh Bonwell goes in the 18th spot. Quentin Steinbach goes in 9th. Unfortunately, not going to be enough for him, again, unofficially. Jeff Merck eliminated unofficially in 20th. Nash Brambilla eliminated in 21st. Tucker McClendon finishes 22nd. Aaron Smith never able to recover. He finishes 23rd. Brody Wacht finishes 24th. Kenny McCullough in 25th. Kevin Cunningham, 26th. Landon Velicki, 27th. Miles Bagley, 28th. Hunter Hastings, 29th. And Brock Westmoreland in 30th. Here is where it gets a little bit interesting in terms of some potential penalties. In terms of some of the guys towards the tail end of that lead draft, Freddie Bassinez, 31st. It appears as if he is going home, or hold that thought, as he'll go 31st for now. Mike Davenport, 32nd. Larry McDonald, 33rd. Daniel Falkingham, 34th. Josh McCullough, 35th. Cody Nagels listed 36th, 2 laps down, after finishing unofficially in the 18th position on my timing and scoring. Something happened with the 6 where he may have gotten an incident point penalty, and if so, that eliminates him from the loser's bracket. Freddie Bassinez will move on to the semifinals there. Alexander Kroenke was never able to recover from his issues. He'll go 37th. Michael Barksdale in 38th. Matt Lee, 39th. Ricky Stewart, 40th. Wes Campbell, 41st. Sean Corbett in 42nd. What we're going to do, we're going to first go back and watch a replay of this final lap. Cody Nagels is the only truck that appears to have some form of incident point issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to watch the white flag lap, and we're going to focus entirely on Cody Nagels. And what we're going to do, we're first going to see what causes this incident. Again, this is at the checkered flag. So we're going to watch the entire white flag lap. And when we get back around here to the start-finish line, that is where the contention's going to be on whether or not Nagels finishes 18th tonight or 36th. So they're going to come off turn 4. You see the leaders up ahead are racing. Nagels at this point is well and in. You see Bassinez right behind him. He's a lap down to the leaders, or he was listed a lap down. I'm not sure what the deal was there. Bassinez got a penalty as well, so we'll actually have to check this. I'll tell you what. So, okay, so Bassinez hits in right there, but Nagels, it depends on the timing of that hit. If the hit is before the line, it's a penalty. If it's a hit after the line, it is not a penalty. And they both got DQ'd. This is an incredible situation. We got to go to a different camera angle. We got to try to determine where the contact happens here. We're going to try to help race control a little bit with what they're looking at right now. So Cody Nagels, you see him running 3 cars in front of Freddie Bassinez. Nagels is the black, white, and gold Friend Chevrolet on the inside. Bassinez is the black, gold, and red number 2, 3 cars back. The crash starts in front of them. Both of these guys are at risk of being disqualified. Bassinez passes Nagels, but gets his penalty before the start-finish line. So he gets disqualified first. Nagels' hit, I think, is after the start-finish line. I think it's that hit right there from Larry McDonald that disqualifies Nagels. On track, Nagels crossed the line in front of Bassinez. Both got disqualified. It appears as if Nagels' penalty happens after the line and Bassinez' penalty happens before the start-finish line. So we'll try to give you an update on that. That, of course, is a matchup in the loser's bracket. We'll cover the bracket before we go off the air tonight. But it does certainly appear as if Cody Nagels has advanced over Freddie Bassinez. But again, we'll give you the race control call when it becomes relevant here in just a little bit. With that being said, we're going to now hear from your top 3. And we will start with a man once again in PGR victory lane, and he's getting awfully used to this in his PGR career, is Malik Ray, as we'll get to hear from him first. After what was a dominant performance for him tonight in Atlanta, we'll see what he's got to say about it as he comes away with yet another PGR victory on a Thursday night. Malik, it's the boys in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Not too bad. Well, look, pretty dominant from you tonight in Atlanta. You never really left the top 5. We saw some tire fall off tonight that maybe we haven't seen here before in this Truck Series package. Take us through what you felt in the truck, what made it so easy for you tonight to go to victory lane here in Atlanta.
Honestly, man, it's just my teammates. It's my teammates, it's my teammates, it's my teammates. They're all I have in the series. And I don't know, man. I just feel like we have the best team. Like we always work well together at the end of races. Like, like nobody gets hung out, everybody gets taken care of. And I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that's like the biggest factor is that I just, I'm on a good team, and that's why I'm up front all the time, is because of them.
Well, look, obviously tonight, racing around some of the bracket drivers, with it being Atlanta, we already knew it would be chaotic, but knowing the bracket implications as well, how did you and your teammates kind of handle racing around that bracket situation? We know that Michael Guest was in the bracket tonight. We know a couple of other guys that were in and around that bracket format tonight. How did you guys go about attacking, not only balancing their bracket needs and wanting to advance, but also, your own needs, wanting to go to victory lane, wanting to get a checkered flag? How did you guys balance that as a team?
Um, I think we just know that if we just keep the same, I say the same game plan, and we all execute, we know that everybody needs will get met. Because if we execute, then I mean, it ends up like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's really it. It's just executing. As long as we do that, we know that we're fine.
Well, executing is what you've done so far to start 2026, another win on your decorated PGR resume. So, kind of take me through how it feels, what it does for your mindset to get a good start to the year. We know the year you had last year, of course, going back-to-back in the SummerSlam 499, winning a number of PGR Thursday night races, winning all over the place. But starting 2026 on this kind of good momentum, what does that do for you as a driver?
It keeps my spirits high, it keeps me confident. It just keeps me self-aware, like I just know that if I just do everything that I've normally been doing, yeah, I just feel like it'll work out. I mean, it's been working out for the past 2 years, so I mean, I don't see no point in changing it.
Well, nothing changes tonight. Another trip to victory lane for you here tonight from Atlanta. So before we let you go and celebrate with your teammates, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Shout out to Michael Guest and Nathan Harper and Ethan Eckert and Freddie Baznes for his help too, and you guys for broadcasting, and Intense Solutions and Logitech Gaming. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
Malik, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the victory tonight in Atlanta. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will see you next week.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Malik Ray, the winner from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now it's going to be the man who finished second and advances to the Final Four in the bracket format. One of the teammates of Malik Ray tonight in that 21 truck. It's Michael Guest who advances to the Final Four. We'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about his race tonight in Atlanta, and look forward to next week as he tries to make a run for the March Madness Championship. Michael, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yep.
Well, a good one for you guys tonight up at the front. Pretty uneventful compared to most of the field, and in a night where you needed to have an uneventful night at the front of the field in the March Madness tournament, you get that. You advance forward in the tournament and also get a great finish out of it as well. Take me through the night at the front at Atlanta. What did you see out the nose of your truck tonight in a chaotic one from Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I feel like you have to be pretty smart with your moves, and it was hard to manage your tires and stay up front. It would get really tight after 10 or 15 laps, and that made the high line hard to use, but it was also really fast up there, so I think it created a really good race. And then we took tires at a really good time. Definitely got us the strategy that we needed to be up front at the end with the advantage. So definitely can't complain about that. It's nice to have one of these go, my way for the first time in this bracket, and really the first time in a while. And here I had a really good last half of 2025. Didn't do much in the PGR 500 stuff. I don't think I made the race, and then I've been just scraping by with these rounds so far. So glad to put one together and solidly advance into the next round.
Well, let's start to look forward. Of course, you do get past your Elite 8 matchup tonight. Now you're going to advance into the Final Four against a Cinderella story in Matt Patton. What are you game planning for next week to get ready to try to make a run to the championship race?
Yeah, just trying to keep it clean. Doing what I can to put myself in a position to where I'm either ahead of the wreck, or if there's a wreck, I'm not on the outside waiting to be just slammed into the wall. So we'll see what happens, but having high hopes.
One more question about next week. It is the new Xfinity car, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series car next week from Daytona. We saw the changes to the physics of that race car this week. Have you gotten to run that car yet? Have you gotten to feel what next week's race is going to be like, and what do you expect next Thursday night in terms of the racing products we're going to see?
No, I haven't been able to try it yet, but for any of the new aero stuff that iRacing's put out, I think it's gonna at least provide a decent race, better than what it was before, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to it. No better place to try it out than here.
Well, we're looking forward to it as well tonight. Though second for you advance into the Final Four of the March Madness tournament, but it's a second place finish for you in Atlanta. So before we let you go and enjoy that finish just a little bit, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, of course, the team definitely couldn't have been up there and controlled a lot of the last half of that race without them. Of course, you guys for broadcasting, and PGR for just putting on the league. Always enjoy showing up for at least the Thursday night races, and enjoy the green flag racing that we get most weeks.
You got quite a bit of it tonight as well. Congratulations on the second place finish. Thanks for talking to us for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We'll see you next week for the Final Four.
Appreciate it.
Michael Guest, second for him tonight in Atlanta. Final interview we'll do tonight, the man who finished in the third spot and got through his losers bracket matchup. So a bit of a different bracket perspective coming here in this final interview. We'll talk to the 33, the Chick-fil-A Ford F-150, Nathan Harper. Podium again in Atlanta. A great start to 2026 for him. We'll talk about that and the losers bracket. Looking forward to next week. Xfinity at Daytona. Nathan, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Another PGR podium for you to start 2026. It's been a pretty good first 3 months of the year for you so far. Tonight, you get through your matchup in the losers bracket and through to the semifinals of that coming up next week. So a lot going on tonight. Take me through a wild one here in Atlanta, especially what you saw at the front of the truck, at the front of the field.
Yeah, I thought about not running this race, but I was like, you know what, I'll do it. I mean, low entry fee, and I'm in the bracket, so I might as well. But man, every time I got behind a truck, I forgot how to drive. I just can't drive in dirty air. When Malik swapped with me early in the race, I don't know when it was, but I hit the wall immediately, and that's when everyone started training us, and I was like, I did it, got myself buried. But then, rebounded, got to the front. We took tires on that pit stop. I thought about staying out, but I was like, nah, probably need to take the tires, and was able to make my way through the field and lock in a podium. I think that's my 14th podium, so shoot, I'll take it. Trying to go for 20.
Well, a lot of podiums here for you, and it feels like, again, 2026 has been pretty kind to you to this point. A good first 3 months. And, how has that kind of changed your expectations for what this year can give you as a driver? Obviously, we've seen the ability to win in PGR. You got some wins last year in 2025. But with a good start to the 2026 calendar year, how's that changed your expectations for what you can achieve, later on in the year here in PGR?
Well, I mean, with PGR, it's once a week, and it's just different from all the other promotions. It's so random compared to, MMS or RMR or whatever. So, I guess, the trend now, if the trend keeps going, I get more podiums. So if I rack up podiums, so be it. Maybe I'll get a win. But, yeah, we're off to a good start, and we just got to keep going with it.
Speaking of good starts, obviously you advance forward in the losers bracket of March Madness. Now headed to the semifinals next week. You'll match up against Cody Nagels. What's the game plan for you? O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars at Daytona. What's the strategy and the game plan for the 33 entry next week to advance to the championship of that?
Well, last night I ran the car for the first time, and they have changed it a lot. So I think you'll definitely have to stay up front, especially from the last package, stay up front. So, yes, just stay up front, and have to defend our right rears now. You know, that's all that NASCAR has become in iRacing. So it's a change. You know, I was better at the gridlock packages, but you just have to adapt to it. And I feel like I've adapted to the truck well. So I'll have to get used to Xfinity. But yeah, definitely stay up front, protect your right rear, and try and win while you're at it.
Well, another podium for you here in 2026. It comes tonight in Atlanta. Before we let you go to prepare for next week, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, thanks to my team tonight. We worked really well. Shout out to Mike and Baker for making this possible, you for broadcasting this, and everyone who showed up tonight.
Well, thank you for your time and talking to me here for a second. Congratulations on the third place run. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We'll see you at Daytona next week.
Thank you, sir.
Nathan Harper, third tonight for him in Atlanta, advancing forward to the next round of the losers bracket as well for March Madness. Before we get off the air, we do want to go down one more time to our pit reporter Tyler Vickery, who's got an update for us on the Cody Nagels and Freddie Bassinet situation. Tyler, what's the call from race control?
Yeah, the race control, they have called it, saying that Cody Nagels was able to get across the start-finish line before the contact for the incident point penalty. Cody Nagels is going to win that matchup, so Cody Nagels will advance in the losers bracket. And even with if everything went clean, Cody Nagels would have beaten Freddie Bassinet by only 3 positions on the track. So Cody Nagels is going to advance in the losers bracket, while as I believe we've confirmed all the rest of the loser bracket with Josh Cruz defeating Quentin Steinbach, Nathan Harper defeating Nash Brambilla, and then, of course, early in the race, Hunter Hastings defeating Weston Campbell. And then I believe everything else is official, too, for the main bracket, which your final 4 is going to be Michael Guest, Daniel Eberhardt, Matt Patton, and Dylan Jones is your final 4.
So let's take you one more time through those final 4s, both in the main bracket and in the losers bracket. Here are the matchups for next week, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars at Daytona. We'll tell you about that race as well coming up in just a second. So the matchups will be as follows. Matt Patton comes out of what is the top left part of the bracket. The number 1 overall seed was Malik Ray. Matt Patton is going to come out of that portion of the bracket. He will face Michael Guest, who comes out of his own portion of the bracket as the number 3 overall seed. So it'll be Guest against Patton next week. Dylan Jones comes out of the top right portion of the bracket. That is the Daniel Falkingham quarter, with him being the number 2 overall seed. Jones comes out of that. And on the bottom right, Daniel Eberhardt comes out of his own portion of the bracket as well, I believe, as they did run. So it'll be Eberhardt against Dylan Jones, a pair of teammates there going to battle next week in the final 4. Then Matt Patton and Michael Guest. In the losers bracket, as we get cycled over to what will be their semifinals. I don't want to call it the final 4 in both. I want to call it the semifinals to differentiate. It'll be Nathan Harper, who finished 3rd tonight. He will match up with Cody Nagels, a heavyweight bout next week in the O'Reilly cars at Daytona. That will be the top left of the losers bracket, Nathan Harper. Bottom left of the losers bracket, Cody Nagels. And then it will be the Josh Cruz machine ahead of Quentin Steinbach. Josh Cruz advances to the semifinals, and Hunter Hastings advances as well in the 44. Hastings advancing over Weston Campbell early in tonight's race. So those are the final 4 for the main bracket and the semifinals of the losers bracket. Looking forward to next week. And next week is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars from the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. The final 4 of PGR's March Madness coming up next Thursday night, 10:30, here on PGR eSports on YouTube. Let's prime you up for the rest of the week leading up to that race next Thursday night. Tomorrow night, the Dega Pro Stars and Stripes Shootout Series. Here is the early race around 9:30 on PGR eSports. The late race at midnight is the Midnight Racing League's Contender Series here on PGR eSports Network. Later on in the weekend, some racing to come from the McCullough Motorsports stable. I'm sure Garrett Jenkins will have you for some of those races as well here on the PGR eSports Network. Coming up next week, the Challenger Cup Series heads to Las Vegas on Tuesday night. And then, of course, we get back to Thursday night racing with the Intimidator Superspeedway Series, the Grindstone Development Truck Series starting up here again very soon, as well with Austin Green. So a number of series coming up. I know we have some other series coming up on Tuesdays that we cannot wait to tell you about. Later on, some big things happening for PGR. ERA, by the way, next week is off. No ERA Omega Cup race next Wednesday. Our next race is April 1st here on PGR eSports and the iRacing platforms as well. So no ERA next week, but we hope to have you back next Thursday for PGR Racing the O'Reilly cars from Daytona, the Final Four of March Madness. Want to thank you for your attendance to tonight's race. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us for this race from Atlanta. We hope you did enjoy the Elite Eight of March Madness. Congratulations to Malik Ray on another victory in his PGR eSports career as he comes away with the win in Hampton here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Elite Eight is done. The Final Four comes up next week. You don't want to miss it. Come back for more next Thursday night at 10:30. Until then, for my pit reporter downstairs, Tyler Vickery, my name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching coverage of the PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway Series. Thanks again so much for watching. Have a great night.